Your news starts now.
Good evening, I'm Amber Worthy. Thanks for joining us for News 12 Now. Chattanooga police are investigating the first deadly shooting since August. They say the fire department was called out to East 11th and Baldwin for an unconscious person. Police say the fire department found a victim who was shot when they tried to revive that person but were unsuccessful. The victim was pronounced dead on the scene. The last fatal shooting in Chattanooga was Isaac Queen, who was killed at the Hampton Inn on Shallowford Road August 28th. CPD is asking anyone with information to call the homicide tip line. That number is posted on our website. And in Texas, at least 26 people were killed in a mass shooting at a church this morning. Local police believe a lone gunman was responsible, but they say that suspect is also dead. CBS's Courtney Zabowski is in Sutherland Springs with that story.
Between 40 and 50 people were attending Sunday services at the First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs. At about 11:15 a.m., witnesses say a single man with a gun walked in and opened fire on the congregation.
He's a young white male, maybe in his early 20s. He was dressed in all black.
Some 4 dozen people were wounded, more than half of them fatally.
At least at this moment in time, there are 26 lives that have been lost.
The gunman fled the scene in a vehicle, pursued by a private citizen armed with a rifle. After driving north for some time, the suspect's SUV left the road and came to a halt in a field. Police arrived to find the man dead inside it.
At this time, we don't know if it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound or if he was shot by our local resident.
The suspect was later identified as 26-year-old Devin Patrick Kelly. Investigators say they have no idea what may have prompted this rampage.
If you came here wanting to know the motive behind this shooting, you're going to leave here disappointed.
The incident prompted a massive response from local, state, and even federal law enforcement agencies. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are among those who've joined the investigation. Sutherland Springs is about 35 miles east of San Antonio. On Sunday, one person described it as the kind of place where everybody knows everybody, including the people who were killed. Courtney Zabowski for CBS News, Sutherland Springs, Texas.
President Trump, who is in Japan, has been briefed about the shooting. He wrote on Twitter, "May God be with the people of Sutherland Springs, Texas." And Hamilton County District 3 Commissioner Greg Martin is reacting to the tragedy on social media. He posted, "My heart is broken for those in Sutherland, Texas. I can't imagine their pain and bewilderment. Prayers for peace that can be understood but accepted and appreciated." Senator Bob Corker says devastating reports of a church shooting in Sutherland Springs, Texas. As we await more details, I am praying for those affected. Like me, most Americans hope that our justice system is independent and free of political interference. And in Chattanooga, the Logan's Roadhouse on Cummins Highway is closed tonight and expected to be closed for part of tomorrow after Chattanooga firefighters were called out for a fire shortly before 3 this afternoon. We received this video from 2 viewers, Emily and Christy. They were at the restaurant as the store was evacuated after a fire broke out in the hood system over the grill, according to fire officials. They tell us the fire was put out quickly, preventing any serious damage to the structure. Chief Wilmore says everyone evacuated quickly when that smoke alarm was activated. No injuries were reported. And the Chattanooga Police Department is investigating a crash that happened Saturday on Wilcox Boulevard. Officers say they found a motorcyclist, Gary Finch, and his bike on the ground. Finch suffered from critical injuries and was transported to a local hospital. The traffic investigators are working to figure out what caused his motorcycle to leave the roadway. 4 former executives for the country's largest truck chain, Pilot Flying J, are headed to court in Chattanooga tomorrow morning, according to the Associated Press. 14 former sales members pleaded guilty to participating in a scheme. The AP reports that it involved ripping off trucking company customers because they deemed them unsophisticated to realize that they were receiving rebates that had been negotiated. Pilot is run by Cleveland Browns owner Jimmy Haslam. He has already agreed to an $85 million settlement for the customers that were defrauded and a $92 million penalty to the government. And hundreds of volunteers helped Southern Adventist University beat their goal of providing 100,000 meals for the Feed My Starving Children organization. Take a look. With a limit, yes, a limit of 500 volunteers, Southern Adventist University packed more than 101,000 meals Sunday afternoon that will go to malnourished children all over the world.
We enjoy partnering with Chattanooga nonprofits, but this is a chance for us to do something overseas without having to leave the country.
Students, faculty, staff, alumni, and their children packed 16 to 17,000 meals that will make a large impact abroad.
Sure. Even if I wasn't passionate about service before I began working at Southern, I would be by now because it's all over this campus. We have students that major in service.
Lucas Patterson says even if a student isn't majoring in community service, they are required to complete a certain amount of hours to graduate. However, Aisha Allen says the requirement isn't why she and her organization, the Black Christian Union, came to help out.
Enough times we have things done for us, so it's good to give back.
And this is one of the smallest volunteers, helping count the bags before they're packed into the boxes, and another making sure that they are sealed tight and packed with love. Allen says what better time than the present to do something on a grand scale like this.
Not oftentimes do we think about others. This world is so fast-paced, so it's nice to slow down and help out other people.
You can get involved. The info is on our website, WDEF.com. Hundreds of bikers hit the street for a toy run today. They met at Ridgeland High School and rode down to Lafayette High with toys attached to the back of their bikes. All the toys donated will go towards Walker County's Stocking Full of Love. And in Walker County tomorrow, the Soul Commissioner, Shannon Whitfield, will be live on Facebook tomorrow explaining and responding to your questions live about the upcoming Transportation Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax, also known as T-SPLOS. The Facebook Live session will be at 6 p.m. on the Walker County Government Facebook page. Polls will open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday for Walker County residents to vote yes or no to T-SPLOS. Now, this tax will be a 1% sales tax increase with funds earmarked for transportation projects like road paving. The tax would last for 5 years and would not take effect until next April, but it's expected to generate nearly $3 million a year for those transportation projects. Now, time for a look at tomorrow's forecast. Here's Christina.
Now, from the EPB Fiber Optics Weather Center, tomorrow's Storm Team 12 forecast.
Thanks, Amber. Well, despite a few spotty showers early, we cleared out in time for a nice early sunset at 5:42 this evening. That look from our CHI Memorial camera out at Lee Point on the EPB Fiber Optics Weather Camera Network. Monday is looking quite similar. Another mild day. Temperatures starting off in the low 60s early on, heading up into the mid 70s late in the afternoon, well above average for early November. Some spotty showers likely, especially during the morning hours, maybe a rumble or two of thunder. But then as we head into the afternoon, less of a chance of rain, may even see a few peaks of sunshine late in the day, but mainly cloudy skies expected.
From the EPB Weather Center, your Storm Team 12 forecast.
Well, we didn't have any rain in the rain gauge officially today, but temperatures were near record highs. We made it up to 78 degrees. Our record was 80 degrees, a very mild day for early November in the Tennessee Valley, and those mild temperatures continue right now. As of 11:30, 66 degrees still in Chattanooga and Cleveland, 65 in Decatur and Dunlap, 68 in Colmont, Scottsboro, 70 in Winchester still. We're going to continue to see those mild temperatures as we head through the overnight hours. Right now, just a few high, thin clouds over the area. Titan radar is dry and quiet. The rain still off to our north and west. That's associated with this cold front that's sitting up off to the northwest of Tennessee right now. That's going to drift our way as we head through the next couple of days, but it's going to linger in the area for several days. So while it looks like the cold air is close to us, it's going to be a couple of days before we start to feel the effects of that cold front in terms of the colder temperatures at least. As you're waking up tomorrow morning, not much cold air in sight. Only Murphy and Ellijay making it down into the upper 50s. For the rest of us, it's closer to 60 degrees and into the lower 60s for Dayton, downtown, and Trenton. 62 the low here in Chattanooga. Another mild day as high temperatures will climb into the low to mid 70s across the region. Once again, 71 for Ranger, Ellijay up on Mount Eagle Mountain as well. 75 in Red Bank, Lafayette, and Dalton. 74 up in Dayton. As we do expect a few spotty showers to make their way into the region overnight. More clouds around tomorrow morning, and we could see some scattered showers around as you're making your way out the door and off to work and school on Monday morning. May want to keep that rain gear handy, not just during the morning, but possibly into the afternoon as well. Less of a chance we see rain during the afternoon. Plenty of clouds, may sneak in a peak or two of sunshine in most locations, but a better chance we see some showers around tomorrow. That'll continue to be the trend as we head into Tuesday. A better chance we have a few more showers around during the day on Tuesday, especially during the morning hours as that frontal boundary meanders its way farther south. By Tuesday night, most of the rain is off to our south. Could still see one or two spotty showers around. But by the time we head into Wednesday, that's when the cooler air will start to arrive. That boundary just off to our south, so we'll still keep the chance for one or two showers around. So these shower chances continue for a couple of days, but we're not looking at a whole lot of rain in total. I'm only about half an inch over the next several days, just several days of small rain chances. And that cooler air continues to make its way into our area as we head into the second half of the week. By Friday, though, clearing out, more sunshine makes it back into the Tennessee Valley. And that continues into Saturday as well. It'll be a cold start on Saturday morning, but we enjoy more sunshine before the next rain system moves in on Sunday. I'll have the 7-day forecast for you coming up in just 10 seconds. From the EPB Fiber Optics Weather Center, the Storm Team 12 7-day forecast. Warm temperatures continue for the start of the week. Temperatures in the mid-70s for Monday and Tuesday, dropping closer to 60 for the second half of the work week. Several rain chances, but not adding up to a whole lot of rain across the area. Sunshine, though, arrives back in the forecast just in time for Friday and the early part of the weekend. Amber?
Thanks, Christina. Well, check out this new cool 2017 Jeep Renegade. Take a look. Well, it won't be ours for long. Tomorrow we are kicking off a giveaway where you can win it. It's in partnership with Salvation Army and Crown Automotive of Chattanooga and Cleveland. Be sure to watch Prime News at 7 for that secret word every night, Monday through Friday. Then visit WDEF.com. Enter that secret word for your chance to win. Entries also give you a chance to win daily free oil changes from Crown Automotive and a $50 gas card. We also encourage you to adopt an angel from the Salvation Army's Angel Tree. You can get all of that information on the same page where you enter that secret daily word. Good luck. More news, 12 Now is straight ahead after this commercial break.
You're watching News 12 now at 11. Your news now.
Welcome back. More than 50,000 athletes from across the world came together today for a race in New York City for a marathon this Sunday. Security was heightened for this year's race, which took place just 5 days after a deadly terror attack that killed 8 people in Lower Manhattan. Wendy Gillette has the details.
Breaks the tape.
It was a sweet victory for Shalane Flanagan, who became the first American woman in 40 years to win the New York City Marathon.
Oh my God!
Her triumph might have been the most memorable from Sunday's race, but more than 50,000 runners carried their own stories of dedication, elation, and pain for 26.2 miles.
The marathoners who picked up these medals here at the finish line ran a course that was filled with law enforcement from the local, state, and federal levels.
The extraordinary police presence came after Tuesday's terror attack in Manhattan, when a man who said he was inspired by ISIS drove a pickup truck onto a bike path, killing 8 people and injuring 11 others. Marathoner Knox Robinson said the increased security was obvious.
There was a little tension as we got on the buses in the morning, but to know that law enforcement was out there sweeping the buses in full effect, in full plain view, making sure we were safe, that means a lot.
There were also more vehicles blocking intersections than any other event held in New York City, as well as additional K-9 units, counterterrorism teams, and snipers. Runner Andrew Nicholson says the added measures were especially comforting after finishing the Boston Marathon an hour before 2 bombs detonated in 2013.
Big thanks to the men in blue and everyone else supporting. I feel safe. I felt good running today.
Race organizers say they did not see a spike in cancellations following last week's terror attack. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
As many as 2.5 million spectators were expected to line the course this year to watch the marathon. We'll be back after the break with a look at sports. Stay with us.
See, that's why I don't like running, because I get bored.
Oh, now I know some people who listen to shows.
No, because I got to see the show. I can hear you loud and clear.
From the News 12 Now Sports Desk.
You know, the Titans defense really doesn't get enough respect around the league. They've been playing pretty good right now. And if I was a quarterback, I probably wouldn't throw the ball anywhere near former Middle Tennessee Blue Raider Kevin Byard, because all he does is pick off passes. Today against the Ravens, Byard showed Joe Flacco that he's a turnover machine. First quarter, Flacco thought he was going to get a big play down the field, but really it was just a bad decision that turned into a big play for the Titans. That's Kevin Byard. A game tied at 3 really isn't great TV. So for the sake of keeping things interesting, Marcus Mariota decided to hook up with Rashard Matthews for a 16-yard touchdown. That gave the Titans a 10-3 lead. Now after some field goals that we really don't care about, it was 16-6 in the third. And here comes Byard again with another splash play. Maybe Flacco should take my advice and throw away from him. That's 5 picks in 2 games for him. Now the Ravens called themselves trying to pull off a comeback. They got within 3 points, then Tennessee put an end to their hopes. Mariota floated one to Eric Decker, 11-yard touchdown. Titans win 23-20. Now to an NFC South battle. Falcons taking on the Panthers. Falcons had the lead early, but Cam Newton looked like he flashed back to Auburn on this play. He takes off, uses his legs, and he's just going to fly into the end zone. That gave the Panthers a 14-10 lead. Not a whole lot of fireworks in this one until the fourth quarter, so let's jump there. Falcons down 10 on 4th and 7. Matt Ryan is going to find a wide open Julio Jones, but Jones just drops it. It's no way that was Julio. That must have been a clone or something, because that's not a Julio Jones play. But the Falcons get another chance. Matt Ryan gets the ball back, and this time he doesn't go to Julio Jones. He throws a short pass. Tevin Coleman takes it, does the rest. 19 yards later, he's in the end zone. Falcons within 3 late in the game. 1:42 left on the clock. It's 4th and 13. Last chance. Matt Ryan throws one over the middle. Panthers defense comes up with the incompletion. Falcons go to 500 with the loss, and that game's final was 20-17. Now let's flash all the way back to Saturday. Vols get a big win. Let me say it again. Vols get a big win. It still feels good. I mean, even if it was against Southern Miss, but a win's a win nonetheless. All that work on the practice field is finally paying off. The Vols are clicking on all cylinders. Jarrett Garantano made a couple of good plays early, even had a keeper here that gets him into the end zone. But he'd get hurt and miss the entire second half of the game, giving the whole Vols nation a big scare. He would be replaced in the second half by Will McBride. And after all the controversy this week about players and injuries after the game, Butch Jones didn't want to say too much about Garantano.
Not going to comment on injuries from here on out to protect our players, but again, we expect him to be ready to go.
Keeping with the spirit of the SEC, let's check out on the results of our SEC Pick'em this week. Each week you can enter, and at the end of the season, our top 3 are entered to win a TV. Sammy, Royce, and Marvin, big congratulations. Picked all the SEC games this week correct. Me and Rick only got 7. So it looks like Sammy, Royce, and Marvin know a little bit more than me. So let's switch gears to some basketball. On Saturday, the Mocs got their season started with an exhibition game against Francis Marion. It was the first game for Coach Lamont Paris at the helm, and there were definitely some big highs in this game, like this huge, monstrous block from Makinde London. And then there were some really low lows, and I mean there were quite a few because the Mocs had 22 turnovers. It was close at the end of the game, but the Mocs ended up on the wrong side of the scoreboard, probably because of those turnovers. They lost the exhibition game 68-63. But after the game, Coach Paris said of course he wanted to win, but if they would have won, he wouldn't have felt any better about how the team played.
I could have been happier if we and had less points than they did, and I could have been disappointed having had one. We could have. They made a couple shots. The one guy hits a really deep three, and while McKinney was guarding him, and that changed. If that doesn't go in, maybe you win the game, and I would avoid the pitfall of feeling better. Why would I feel any different based on one shot? You know how many possessions there were in a game? I can't feel differently because of one shot.
Well, we don't want to make any of you feel different with one camera, but sports is over, and here's our one camera. We'll take a live look at our EPB Fiber Optics Weather Cam Network camera out on Brainerd Road.
Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. This was a fun night.
It was Sunday
Good day.
night. We got a few showers coming through, but not a whole lot of rain this week. Just several chances of some spotty showers around.
Well, hopefully everyone changed their clocks.
Oh,
and
true.
Wake up early on time for Monday morning.
That's right.
Baby.
That'll do it. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.